Hello, welcome back to our channel, where we bring you stories full of secrets, drama, and breathtaking. Today, you will hear a chapter that, once you enter, you will have no way out. A chapter about betrayed trust, about forgery creeping into the safest place. Listen to the end, because this truth will make your heart suffocate. Kat rummages through old drawers in a dark room, where the only light coming in is a narrow strip from a half-closed window. The papers are thrown away in old files that have never been touched by anyone. At first, she was just looking for some financial documents to trace the shady money that her family deliberately hid. But in the middle of the papers, a name appeared to Tomas neatly on the birth certificate and the ID, but the details underneath didn't match. The birth date, the identification number, even the old signature on the archives didn't match anything she'd seen on Tomas's current paperwork. A different Tomas, a different life, a person who didn't match the one in this house. Kat's heart pounded, not with fear, but with shock and anger. She remembered every moment Tomas had entered the Dupree household, with his calm demeanor, his confident gestures, his clever promises that made everyone believe he belonged. But the papers in her hands tore them all apart. She couldn't understand how she hadn't seen it before. Kat closed her eyes, breathing heavily, memories flashing through her. At lavish parties where Tomas stood with his family, his eyes always shining, his smile always warm enough to erase doubt. But now, everything was falling apart like a fake picture, only built to cover up a larger conspiracy. She imagined him smiling faintly, knowing that she would discover the truth, and that he had planned it all. The very thought made Kat shudder. This betrayal was not just a lie, it was an intrusion, a play that had lasted for years, with the whole family in its sights. For a moment, Kat wanted to tear the papers to shreds, to pretend she had never known. But her instinct, the anger she held, forced her to hold the papers as tightly as a knife. She felt like she would be an unwitting accomplice if she chose to remain silent. She didn't know where to start, didn't know how to face Tomas. If he wasn't Tomas, then who was he? Who was he being sent by? What was he looking for inside the Dupree family? And why did he have to assume a seemingly harmless identity to infiltrate their lives? The questions piled up, choking her mind. Kat left the room, walking heavily down the long hallway, where the yellow light cast on the walls like a dark maze. With each step, the anger inside her grew, in waves that wanted to sweep everything away. The betrayal was not just from one individual, but as if the entire world around her was complicit, concealing, forcing her to be the one being deceived. In her anger, she remembered every look Tomas had directed at her. There were times when his eyes were strangely gentle, but now, looking back, it was no different from the gaze of a patient predator. It was all just a cleverly arranged lie. Kat entered her private room, where no one else could see. She locked the door and threw the papers on the table. Her trembling hands clenched into fists, her eyes red, but not a single tear fell. Anger had swallowed up the pain. She could not allow herself to be weak. A conflicting thought echoed in Kat's mind: she should have kept quiet, observed, found more solid evidence. But her pride wanted to explode immediately, wanted to pull Tomas out of that false shell, wanted to push him to a place where there was no way back. But at that moment, Kat understood that she was playing a dangerous game. If Tomas was really an imposter, he did not come here just to tease. He came with a purpose, with a clear plan. Exposing him too soon would be like putting herself in the mouth of a tiger. She collapsed into a chair, exhausted, filled with anger. The feeling of betrayal felt like 1,000 knives stabbing at once. For so long she had trusted him, had given him her trust, and sometimes her heart even fluttered before him. This truth made Kat feel like she was both a victim and a fool. From afar, footsteps echoed in the hallway. Kat suddenly tensed, imagining that Tomas might be approaching. Cold sweat beaded on her temples. She gathered the papers and stuffed them into the bottom of her desk drawer. She couldn't let him see that she knew. The anger didn't subside, but instead smoldered even more fiercely. In the darkness that surrounded her, Kat felt a fire burning inside her, turning her into a different person. No longer the gentle, weak Kat, but the Kat who was ready to confront, ready to pay the price to expose her true face. She stood up and looked into the mirror. The face reflected back was no longer familiar. Cold eyes, a tense face, a look of exhaustion etched in her face, but burning with determination. A new Kat was born, in anger and betrayal. In the darkness, the image of Tomas appeared in her mind, a cold smile, eyes full of hidden meaning. The more Kat thought, the more she felt herself being cornered. Keeping silent meant he would continue his act, continue to destroy this family. But if she attacked too soon, she could become prey. A vicious cycle, with no way out. Kat knew she had no easy way. Every decision, every choice was a double-edged sword. She took a deep breath, the fire in her heart burning fiercely. She could not turn back. If you are already hooked on this story, want to know how Kat will face Tomas, want to witness the next steps in the conspiracy, then don't miss it. Follow and subscribe to our channel. Every step, every decision, every shock, you will be the witness of it all.